Tonight I want to begin by asking a question. And the question is, what is the focus of a person or being who you will compare to be a loser? What will be the focus of a person who is a loser? Hello? What will be the focus of a person who is a loser? The opposite of losing is winning. What will be the focus of a person who is a winner? Hello? The focus of a person who is a loser is because he spends all his time looking at somebody who is a winner. But the difference with a winner is, he looks at nobody. He concentrates on winning all the time. What are you? What am I? Are we losers or winners? And if in the past you did not spend your effort, your energy, and your time in winning, then today is a good day to start. And now is a good time. The beautiful Katha begins to tell us. What does it say? Listen. Narayan Jai Govind Hari Narayan Sri Narayan Jai Gopal Hari. Sing it for everybody. Narayan Narayana Jai Govinda Hari Narayana Sri Narayana Jai Gopal Hari. With all your love, sing with me. Narayana Narayana Jai Govinda Hari देवी सर्वभूतेषु शारदारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। देख ली अपने का पूर्वक करने राजा स्थान करने दे बाद पांडवा का द्रौपदी का साथ दे वाम चलते गया बन होते The Pandavas, Bhim, Nakul, Sahadev, Yudhishthir and Arjuna. These 5 beings, the Pandavas, they had lost their entire kingdom. They had lost everything that they once called their own. And how they lost it? By gambling. By gambling. This is how they lost everything. And who did they lose it to? Not a stranger, a relative. Who tries to outsmart you? Who tries to boycott you? Who tries to take your ideas? Who hurts you the most? A stranger? They had lost their entire kingdom by a game of dice. And so losing the entire kingdom, what will happen? The Pandavas along with Draupadi, they now made their way into the Bund, into the forest. From living luxury, now they're going to live in the forest. Can you live in the forest? How long you live in the forest for? No bed, no hot water, no toilet with a thing to flush so? Huh? No comb, no toothbrush, no cellular. Narayana, I think that's the worst of them all, huh? No phone. What will happen? The Pandavas along with Draupadi, they entered into the forest. And where they were going to live. Listen to what the Katha says. Listen to where they were going to live. Va uske ka dham karne wale. Dham means home. वाह उसने का धाम करने वाले गर्वे का, देखो राजस्थान का बिनते करने वृक्षण होते, वृक्षण करने होते, बड़ा वृक्षण. They started living under Bada. Bada means big. Vrikshan, Vriksha means tree. Under a huge tree. Ever tried to shelter on that tree? Have you ever had to shelter on that tree before? And it just didn't work out too good? Huh? They inhabited this tree, and this piece of land that they were on was donated to them. From having everything now, they're living on a donation. It was donated to them. And so living there, what will happen? They inhabited under this tree and they called it their Gar. Gar means their home. There is no place like. But do you know some people don't like to go home? There are some children, once they leave the house, you have to take up your phone and remind them that they live at a residence, that they have to come back. You have to remind them that it's getting late and you want to close your door. And they say, well, I have a key. Tell them this story about when you were growing up. Tell them when you were growing up and you couldn't make a joke with your father or your mother to say, I want a key for the door. Because the day you couldn't come home before the sun set, you better sleep with the dog outside. And as if you could reach outside too. Because once the gate was closed, you were locked out. Remember those days? Tell your children about the days, sisters, when you used to hide and let your brother out and let him back in. Brothers, tell this story to your children about how your brother used to run away and go to Lime and play cards and do all kind of mischief in the night. And in the night, you have to pull out 2 louvers for him to come back in. That's where the thief learned that from. You didn't even know you were teaching them. They inhabited this tree as their home. And inhabiting this tree as their home, kush tatha. They were very kushi. Kushi means they were very happy. They enjoyed this. If you have a choice to relax on a reclining chair or a hammock, which one you'll choose? Which one you'll choose? Which one costs more? But what did you choose? Because the reclining chair is an ornament and the hammock is something that everybody rushed for. Huh? They were very happy. After losing the entire kingdom to Duryodhana, the Pandavas now inhabited this tree as their home. What will happen? Something is about to happen. Listen. Narayan, Narayan, Jai Govinda Hari. Narayan, Sri Narayan, Jai Gopal Hari. Sing with me, everybody. Narayan, Narayan, Jai Govinda Hari. Narayan, Sri Narayan, Jai Gopal Hari. बात एक का उसके का पास तोरे का जिसमें का नीच करने वाले अभी का बीच अभी का भीर कुश तथा करने. Though they had lost the entire kingdom to Duryodhana and they were living under a tree, there wasn't a single moment that Duryodhana didn't cease to take interest in what they were doing, though they were living under the tree. Do you know there are some people, they know your business better than you? Shake your head like this. Do you know other people's business better than yours? Shake your head like this. Hello? Don't lie in the press. Shake your head. Just by smell, you could tell what the neighbor cooking. But you didn't even know what you're eating for dinner. That's how we are designed. We're designed that way. In Trinidad, we use a nice word, inquisitive. Huh? We're very inquisitive. Duryodhana, he never seized the opportunity to look and to see what was happening. And Duryodhana, for the love of it, he could not understand how they were happy when they had nothing. He couldn't understand how they were so happy because they had nothing. What makes you happy? What makes you happy? Hello? What makes you happy? Duryodhana. He decided to plot a plan. And what will he do? Listen, it tells us. Narayana, Narayana, Jai Govinda Hare. Narayana, Sri Narayana, Jai Gopal Hare. Sing with me. Narayana, Narayana, Jai Govinda Hare. Narayana, Sri Narayana, Jai Gopal Hare. ऋषि दुर्वासा उसने का साथ पार करके हरे पांडवा का भूत का रहते तथा करने रहते तथा हे. Duryodhana summoned, he called, he invited some being into his kingdom. And who will he invite? He invited Durvasa Rishi. Durvasa Rishi was known for a quality that he possessed. What was the quality? Durvasa Rishi, what was the quality that he was known for? To get vexed for no reason at all. You know anybody who gets vexed for no reason at all? Hello? You know anybody who is get vexed for no reason at all? Well, I want to tell you, sometimes that is me and sometimes that is all you. True, you know. We get vexed for no reason at all. And I'm saying me first and then I'm saying all you. Because all of us, sometimes we get angry and annoyed for no good reason. He invited Durvasa Rishi. And as Durvasa Rishi came, Duryodhana says, I will give you any amount of dakshina that you want, but I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go to the Pandavas and I want you to torment them. Cause torment to them. Give them a little stress. Do you know there's some people, they take joy in tormenting you? They never like to see you happy at all. The minute you think life is smooth sailing and peaceful and happy, they chuck the Japanese over your head to create a disturbance. Duryodhana says to Durvasa Rishi, go and torment them. I want to ask you, and don't lie, you're in prayers, right? You ever wanted to torment somebody before? Hello? Have you ever tormented somebody before? The children ask you for something and you say no, no, no. And in your mind you know is yes, yes, yes. Huh? But you torment them up until the 11th hour. Mommy, I could go? No. Mommy, I could go? No. Mommy, I could go. Go now and you see. Huh? And at the 11th hour, go get dressed quick. Go. Huh? Every parent has done that to their children at one time or the other. Every single parent. Duryodhana, he says to Durvasa Rishi, go and torment them. And who better? Durvasa Rishi knows how to torment. So what he does? Durvasa Rishi does something. Listen, it tells us. Bhajane Hari Govinda, Bhajane Krishna Mukunda, Bhajane Hari Govinda, Bhajane Hari Govinda, Bhajane Krishna Mukunda, Bhajane Hari Govinda, Bhajane Hari Govinda, Bhajane Krishna Mukunda, Bhajane Hari Govinda, Bhajane Hari Govinda, Bhajane Krishna Mukunda, Bhajane Hari उसने का साथ पर गया होते जानते पांडवा का बात रहते करने वाले उसने का साथ उन्होंने का अन्यू करने वाले भजने हरि गोविंदा भजने कृष्ण मुकुंदा भजने हरि गोविंदा
भजने हरि गोविंदा भजने कृष्ण मुकुंदा भजने हरि गोविंदा.
Durvasa Rishi quickly made his way to that place where he knew that the Pandavas were living. And Durvasa Rishi entered, and as he entered, he was greeted with reverence. He was greeted with love and with reverence. And so, being greeted with love and reverence, they bowed to the feet of Durvasa Rishi and they washed his feet and they did his puja and they afforded unto him the seat. But there was a big but. You know what happened? Durvasa Rishi did not go alone. He took thousands of chelas with him. They all flocked this place and there was hardly anywhere for them to sit. And so the Pandavas, so overwhelmed to see this big following behind Durvasa Rishi, they inquired, "Oh Maharishi, what brings you to our abode?" And what do you think Durvasa Rishi will say? Durvasa Rishi says, "My following and I, we are all hungry, and so we came here for food." Bhajane Hari Govinda, Bhajane Krishna Mukunda, Bhajane Hari Govinda,
Bhajane Hari Govinda, Bhajane Krishna Mukunda, Bhajane Hari Govinda.
The first person to start to cry, hearing the request, is Draupadi. Draupadi begins to cry. And why? A woman, she always has emotion and it becomes very sentimental when it comes to her cooking and the way she prepares food. True or not? Mothers, sisters, tell your daughter when you got married and you went into your mother-in-law's house, and from the time you enter, you had to wear urni and bun up your head. Tell your children about how from the time you went into your mother-in-law's home, how you had to have a tattoo on your hand, a gudina. Tell. For if you did not have that mark on your hand, your mother-in-law and father-in-law will never eat or drink anything from you. Huh? Now a tattoo in 2023 is, you know what? For style. Well, I don't know about you. Nobody tattooing anything on me, because style that come with pain, I could do without. I could do without that. God sent me into the world the way He wanted me to be. I am not piercing anything. I am not tattooing anything. This body was alone to me. Bade bhagya manusha tanna pava suradura laba sabagranta lagawa. Of all the creations, He has blessed me with human existence so that I can enjoy human existence and then come back to Him. Sadhana dhamma moksha karadwara. Paving away for mukti, salvation. It never say pave away for tattoo. It never say any of those things. It is your choice. It is your body. It is your choice. Maybe I'm just coward, I don't know. But not me. Draupadi started to cry. And as she started to cry, Draupadi wondered, what will we do? Mothers, sisters, daughter-in-laws especially, tell your children about how you took the time and cooked the food. And as your mother-in-law tastes it, she twists her mouth from here to Tobago. And she said, that it tastes good. You don't cook next time. You just prepare everything and I go chunky. Tell them. She started to cry. The Pandavas were confused for their harya. Harya means what? Harya. Their pots, chote harya. Their pots were very small. How will they feed thousands of people from a small pot? Draupadi immediately started to cry. And crying, Draupadi started to pray. Who will she call? Who will she pray to? There was only one being when Draupadi was in trouble. He will appear. Who is that? Draupadi begins to call. Who is she calling? Aaj Janire, me aaj Janire,
hai hamare saath, jat suraj chamkare Bhagwan.
भगवान कृष्णा का प्रार्थना करें करने वाले, जपने का द्रौपदी का चौथे बर्तनों के प्रकाश करने वाले, उसने का आदेश दिया करने वाले, वहाँ तुलसी का पत्ता देखते का अर्पणम होते हैं, करते होते हैं, उन्होंने दिया का पीछे क्या का प्राणी स्वरूप करने वाले, दुर्वासा उसने का उपते करने वाले, संतुष्ट हो गया वापस चलते गया है, वापस चलते गया है। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
Draupadi immediately called out to Bhagwan Krishna. And she called out the Lord Krishna as though it was some kind of jadoo. Jadoo means magic. Lord Krishna appeared. And Lord Krishna looked at Draupadi and Lord Krishna smiled. And he says, why are you worried when I am here? Why are you worried when I am here? Why do we need to worry when Bhagwan, when God is in charge, when God is in control? Draupadi says, Chote Bartan, we only have small. How will we provide for this multitude of beings? Kusum will tell you that in years gone by, when I said to them, I'm having a small press, they begin to tremble. They will tell you, Nadira will tell you, that in the middle of the puja, they have to send Shobha and Judy upstairs to seke 50 sada roti, quick, quick, quick. They will tell you how we couldn't wait for the fry aloo to done fry, so we dropped some curry in it and make curry fry aloo. And all kind of thing happen, and nobody will know because everybody got food. But it's the stress that went with it. So much so that now when we tell Dave order 2 pula, he order 4. He said, well, at least you can have roti. Draupadi started to cry and she says, oh Bhagwan Krishna, what will we do? And Lord Krishna says, Tulsi patta. Take the tulsi leaves and place it in the vessels with the food. And arpan karo. Arpan karo means to take the water and pass it around the food, praying to me. And I promise you a miracle will happen. In time gone by, our Ajis and Ajan, they will never eat food without taking the little bit of water in their hand and passing it around. Did you ever see that? The only people that genuinely do that now, today, in the day that we live in, are the Pundits. And maybe you never did this because you were never taught that it was the right thing to do. to offer your food first to Lord Krishna. For he has the ability to transform poison into nectar. To make that which is impure, pure. And as Draupadi quickly did this, Draupadi started to dish the food in leaves. In leaves, they started to distribute the food. In the forest, can you run out of leaves? Huh? In Trinidad, you have to have a permit to go and cut leaf. Huh? Strange. Very, very strange. Strange, huh? And you know who used leaf for food, huh? You know who used leaf for food? But you don't have to get a permit to go and catch fish and kill all the fish. But you have to get a permit to cut up bamboo to use for jhandi. Do you know? They say there is a proverb that says different strokes for different. Sometimes we're not treated as though we are folks. Hindus, we're not treated that way. And that's general. It says, dishing out all of the food and serving the food, what will happen? Durvasa Rishi was very happy. And he, with his multitude of disciples, they left and they went back satisfied, happy. But when they presented themselves to Duryodhana and they said to Duryodhana, we plotted a plan but it did not work. Duryodhana became upset. He became angry. When you know somebody don't like you, you know what you have to do? Don't wait for them to come and meet you. You go and meet them. Kuchi, kuchi, ku. When you know somebody says the worst things about you, you know what you have to do? Don't wait for them. You go. You make yourself humble. You make yourself into the small one. Because I want to tell you something. Humility is the doorway to success. In everything. In anything. Duryodhana, hearing this, Duryodhana became furious. And as Bhagwan Krishna was now about to leave the company of the Pandavas and Draupadi, Bhagwan Krishna speaks. What will he say? Listen to what he says. Keshava Madhava Jayadeva Madhusundana Keshava Madhava Jayadeva Madhusundana Shiva Madhava Jayadeva Madhusundana Shiva Madhava Jayadeva Madhusundana। तब भगवान कृष्णा का पांडवा का निरेष्टिया करने सभी का नमक करने पूर्वक देखो प्रार्थना का शंकर का सन्मुख भगवान शंकर की पूजा करेंगे। उन्होंने का उसके निर्देश का उपकेश का किया करने वाले, इसने का परम पूर्णिमा स्वरूप करने वाले, उसने का भेद भाट क्या करने भी पया करने। केशवा माधवा जय देव मधुसूदना 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 केशवा माधवा केशवा माधवा जय देव मधुसूदना
केशवा जय देव मधुसूदना.
It says Bhagwan Krishna was about to leave the Pandavas and Draupadi. And Bhagwan Krishna says, I'm about to leave you, but I want you to follow my instruction. Worship Lord Shiva. Worship Lord Shiva and he will protect you at all times. Listen to what Lord Krishna is saying. Worship Lord Shiva and he will protect you at all times. Not sometime, not maybe, not if. He will protect you at all times. Worship Lord Shiva. And giving this instruction, what will happen? He says he will protect you from all negative influences. But the Pandavas, they behave just like you and me. They behave just like how we will behave. You know what they did? They ignored the instruction of Lord Krishna. How easy it is for us to ignore that which will add value to our life. How easy it is for us to forget about the good things that we are supposed to do and embrace the bad things that we are not supposed to. How easy. And so they ignored the instructions, and as a result, something happened. What will happen? Listen. उसने का परमा स्वरूप, उसने का पीर क्रिया करने वाले, नीच नीच का होते करने वाले, परिवार का दुख सुख शांति करने वाले, देखते का रक्षा करने, देखते का रक्षा करने. Their suffering increased. They did not follow the instruction and their suffering increased. Have you ever felt as though your life and you're in a place where you don't want to be? And every day is more trouble, more problems, more distress, more negative energy. Have you ever felt like that? And you feel as though you're against the wall all the time and you're being attacked all the time. Their suffering increased. And as their suffering increased, they were already living under a tree. They were already eating very little. How much worse do you think it could get? How much worse? And so, what will happen? Something happens. Unexpectedly, a being visits them. Who will come now? This being is not sent by Duryodhana. This being comes on his own. Who is coming? मानस भजले गुरु चरणम दुष्टर भव सागर तरनम.
मानस भजले गुरु चरणम दुष्टर भव सागर तरनम.
गुरु महाराज गुरु जय जय.
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 साईनाथ सद्गुरु जय जय.
सत्य साईनाथ सद्गुरु जय जय.
सत्य साईनाथ सद्गुरु जय जय.
सत्य साईनाथ सद्गुरु जय जय.
परमात्मने नमः. एक दिन व्यासवान का पूछने करने वाले, पांडवा का उसने का विशेष का स्वर्गा तथा किया करने वाले, वानिक सकते का शंकर संकट में पूजन करने वाले, अर्जुना का पांडवों का समूह दे सब एका अंडिका शाम महूत करने वाले, उन्होंने का सोचने भगवान शंकर की पूजा किस लिए जानते, किस लिए का जानते. ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, शिवाय नमः.
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namo.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namo.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namo.
Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai.
Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai.
Oh Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai.
Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai.
Sai Nath Satguru Jai Jai.
Satya Sai Nath Sadguru Jai Jai.
Satya Sai Nath Satguru Jai Jai.
Satya Sai Nath Sadguru Jai Jai.
The great sage Vyasa, he appeared in a place where the Pandavas they were living. And Vyasa, he too was greeted with great reverence and love and affection. But as Vyasa was given a seat to sit and he was given food and he was given drink, Vyasa could see that there was something wrong. He could see that there was something wrong. And so Vyasa decided to intervene. Have you ever met with a person who tells you things and you wonder how they will know? How that person knows? How can that person tell? Way in advance they tell you. And then when it happens they say, hey, what kind of crystal ball you have? You know you really see that? And you know he's really that? Vyas could see the unhappiness etched behind his smile. And so Vyasji looked at them and Vyasji says, do you remember? Can you remember the words of Bhagwan Krishna? Pray to Lord Bhim of the Pandavas. He was kind of arrogant. You know why? You know why he was arrogant? Because he was strong. He had muscles. He had power. He had strength. And this made him a man who has muscles never becomes egoistic because of that. Because he recognized that his strength doesn't come from his muscle, his strength comes from his maker. There is a difference. But you have to be intelligent to recognize that. And so Vyasa, he says, can you remember? And of all the Pandavas, the 5 of them, Bhim, Nakul, Sahadev, Yudhishthira and Arjuna, Vyasa decides to call one of them. Because he knows that if he calls this one, that one will follow his instruction. Mata has children, you know, but she knows exactly which one will follow her instruction. Pada has children, you know, but fathers know, they know exactly which one will follow the instruction. And so, he summoned one. Who will he call? He called out to Arjuna. He chose Arjuna, for Arjuna was known for his humility. And as he called out to Arjuna, he says, Arjuna, come, I will not show you, I will teach you. I will teach you. And so sitting in a quiet place, Vyasji now begins to teach Arjuna how to pray to Lord Shiva. How to pray to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva of all the Devatas is easily, but yet we think it hard to do anything for Lord Shiva. There is one night in the whole year dedicated to Lord Shiva that you go to the temple. Because I said last night that every month there is a Shivaratri. But in 1 month there is a Mahashivaratri. But there is one Mahashivaratri that you go to. But you'll never take the time to spend your time in the kitchen and make the parsad with your own hand. You'll go and buy the thing to come and offer. Never once you'll take the opportunity to make your own dar home and cover it with a foil paper and say, I mix my own dar. You say, when I go get something and I go throw it now. Huh? And we don't say offer, we say I go throw it. You're calling somebody's phone and they're not answering and you say, but I'm calling you whole morning, how you know? Well, I did throw in my water. Huh? You ever hear that? And that's really what it was, you know. You go by the jhandi, take the lota, throw the water. Because there is a difference with throwing and offering. We never throw water. We offer water. That's what we do. Throwing means that there is no affection. There is no emotion in it. But offering means that I'm doing it with emotion, with love, with feelings. And so, what will happen? He begins to teach Arjuna how to pray. They sit in an open cave. And so consecrating a stone as the lingam, they begin to pour water. And they begin to eulogize Lord Shiva. Shambhu Shankar Deva, Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Pahi Prabhu Sharanam Deva, 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 Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva. Clap your hands for me, everybody. Let's clap. Let's sing to Lord Shiva.
Mahadeva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Pahi Prabhu Sharanam Deva,
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 Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Shambhu Shankar Deva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva,
Bole Baba Mahadeva.
Bole Baba Mahadeva.
As Arjun, being guided by Vyasji, begins to worship Lord Shiva, they go in a cave and they sit And so the chanting begins to echo. It begins to echo. To create that echoing effect, that's why in the mandir there is a dome. So that Om goes straight to the home of Bhagwan. Om creates this awakening inside of you by the echo that comes out of it. The bell, the ganta. Where is the ganta? Where's the bell? Can you just hit that bell? One time. Om. Hit it again. Om. Did you give thought to that? That's why when we do the puja, we chant Om thrice, 3 times. And that's why when we do the puja, we hit the bell 3 times. Hit it 3 times. Consecutively. That's why when you go to the mandir and you see the bell overhead, you knock the bell 3 times. You're the God of the 3 worlds. I'm coming to you as your servant, as your child. Accept me. Here I am. I am making a footstep towards you. Yudhishthir, Bhim, Nakul, Sahadev. They all rush to this place where Arjuna is sitting to pray. For they know now that if they follow the instructions, all will be well. But all they can offer is pani. What is pani? In the forest, all they could offer is pani. What is pani? But as they sit, it's only so much water they could offer. Then they sit and they close their eyes and they begin to pray to Lord Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya.
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 As they sit to pray, closing their eyes and thinking of only Lord Shiva, what will happen? The mountain itself forms the udders of a cow. And forming the udders of the cow, these udders begin to spring milk. And it begins to fall on the lingam that they have consecrated of Shiva. And so as the milk begins to spray, it begins to fall. Being egoistic as he is, Bhim immediately puts his hand and he begins to catch. But he is catching not with the intention of offering. He is catching with the intention of... You see the parsad and you say, it smells real good, boy. My belly gone grr. You juta it already. You need it more than Bhagwan. You need it more than God. So don't waste your time to hold it highly and say, I can't wait to done jar away this thing to eat it looking good, boy. You get no blessing. 0 blessing. It over smelling good. Smell it now. The minute you smell it, you know what happened? You have juted it. The old golden people, they make parsad with no measurement. There is no measurement, no fixed measurement. The minute they smell the parsad, they know it wants some more sugar. They know it has too much sugar. They know. They know. Just by the smell that will come from it. The old people. Our Ajo, you know what he will do? After the parsad was done, he will take out a little bit of the parsad and he will chant his Guru mantra and he will offer it to the stove first. Our Ajis, when they were going in the kitchen to cook dal and rice, you know what they will do? They'll take some of the rice and pass it around the pot so and drop it on the stove. You know why we can't do that now? Because our Aji used to clean the stove every day. But we live in a world where cockroach living inside the stove. Because you know why? The cockroach depending on all the food that you throw down inside of there. Cleanliness is next door. 2 places in your home that should always be spotless clean. Your toilet and your kitchen, especially the sink. Especially your kitchen sink. Never go to sleep with nasty wares in your sink. You know why? Mother Lakshmi run away from that place. You doom yourself. You create a curse for yourself. The barakat, the energy of the home disappears. So much so that when I go to my mother's home, she said, don't wash the wares, eat in a sanitary plate and throw it in a dustbin. I say, Ma, sanitary? I'm a Pundit and you want to give me sanitary? She said, Pundit, not sanitary, because he don't know to wash his own wares. So eat in what I am giving you. And throw it in the garbage after. Tonight, it forms the udders of the cow and the milk begins to spray. And Bhim begins to collect it. And while everybody is praying, Bhim quickly drinking. He's drinking the milk. Vyasji, he's observing the actions of Bhim. But you know what he thinks to himself? He thinks to himself that I don't need to correct him, for he already knows the right. You and I, we know what is the right thing and what is required and what is prescribed. But yet we choose to do the wrong thing. Is that true? Hello? Is that true? Let me tell you how to shake your head. Let me see you. Is that true? No, you ain't shaking it good. Is that true? Suresh, you too. We know all the right things, but yet we want to do and we want the right result out of doing the wrong thing. Do you know, a few years ago, I had the privilege of going to India in this place called Rishikesh. We were staying with one of my friends whose name is Sunil too. And Sunil said to me, well, we had now reached to Rishikesh and we had reached like maybe 5 o'clock in the evening. And he said, quickly bathe. We're going to a temple. I want you to go a Shiva temple. You have to go. Well, I'm telling you the truth. I opened the bathroom and I'm waiting for the hot water to come. But from cold it went to freezing. And from freezing it went to freezing, and freezing it went to saying to me, you're good dead if you bathe in this water. So I'm waiting and waiting and he's outside blowing the horn. Because in India, they put their hand on the horn and they don't move it. And he's blowing the horn and I am frantic inside of my room and I could hear it. And I say, you know what, Lord Shiva, what should I do? I take the water and I sprinkle it. Pavitra, Pavitra. I take some of the water and I wipe up my face and I go. I sit down and he said, how was the bathe? I said, good. He said, you bathe quick, huh? First time you bathe so quick. I say, if you only know. We sit in the car and we go. Everything is a rush. We sign you up to do the Aarti and you have to be on time. Come on, the Pundit is expecting you. Dragging me and dragging the others with me too. We go, and when we go, it is this very same cave that the Katha talks about tonight. We go down into the cave and we sit there in front of this lingam. And just as it had narrated that the udders of the cow was formed, we saw the udders of the cow. But in that age, milk was flowing. But in this age, water is flowing till today, constantly dripping on the lingam of Lord Shiva. And when I found the Katha, I said, look, what we saw with our own eyes is what Scripture has narrated. But yet, we are so vain that we will not believe though you saw. Though you are hearing that somebody else saw, you will not believe. Because you know why? That's good and God. You only believe bad and gossip. Is that true? Is that true? I find all they're not shaking all their head. the Pandavas rushed to that place. They were drawn to the worship of Lord Shiva. Jai 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 Tripurari, Jai 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 Tripurari, Jai 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 Tripurari, Jai 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 Tripurari. जय हे त्रिलोचन जय दुख मोचन जय हे मंगलकारी जय 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 त्रिपुरारी जय 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 त्रिपुरारी Sing with me everybody जय 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 त्रिपुरारी जय 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 त्रिपुरारी मुक्ति प्रदायक शरण करेंगे शीश गता में शोभित रंगे मुक्ति प्रदायक शरण करेंगे शीश गता में शोभित रंगे अंग विभूतन रामय बोले जय कैलाश बिहारी जय 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 त्रिपुरारी जय 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 त्रिपुरारी जय 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 त्रिपुरारी जय 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 त्रिपुरारी भीम नकुल Sahadev, Yudhishthira and Arjuna, they were all totally different. Totally different. But they kept close to each other. You know why? You know why they kept close to each other? There was one thing that acted like the glue to keep them together. And it was Draupadi. The women folk in our family, they're the glue that holds the family together, you know? Especially the mother. You see when the mother is not there? You see when the mother is not there? You know what happened? Everybody want to be mother and in charge and in control. I want to give you a little advice. You see when you're choosing friends, don't choose friends who are in the same field as you. Choose people who are in different fields. Because people who are in the same field as you see you as a competition. They don't see you as a friend. And your relationship will always be a competition. Do you know? Huh? Do you know that? Don't try to partner with people who will try to duplicate your success. Who would look at your winning and try to win too. And to take away your winning from you. Instead, we should partner with people who will accessorize our limitations. We should partner with people who will be able to help us to lift ourselves in our weak spots. Keep the company of those who will help you to be successful holistically in everything that you do. If you keep the company of people who are like you, you don't learn anything new. But when you keep the company of, you learn what you never imagined that you would learn. In the Ganesh Utsav Foundation, we're a unique group like the Pandavas. Everybody is different. There's some people who have strengths and weaknesses in the same field. I'll give you an example. Shobha could cook and Rukmin could eat. See? Dave will do the buffing up and Nigel will do the pacifying. See? In the same group. But where there is a weakness, there is a strength to support it. The battery, in order for it to work, has to have a positive and a... We can't agree all the time. We agree to disagree with each other. But we never allow our disagreements to tear us apart. We allow those disagreements to help us to become bonded even more to each other. There's some people, they vex with their own self. You expect them to be at peace with you? There's some people, they can't make peace with their own self. You expect them to be peaceful with you? There's some people, they're just bent on being angry and vexed for no good reason at all. What you'll do? Tonight, keep the company of those who will help your friendship to become healthy. Keep the company of those who's up is you're down. Keep the company of those who's out is you're in. And who will add value to your life to help you to live to your truest potential. Life is not a competition. Be the best version of yourself. Be the best you that you could be. You know, sometimes, Nigel, I want to tell some people sometimes that they are like this paper plane. Seeing it? A paper plane? Like a paper plane. And I'm like a 747. Boeing. And that's what you should tell sometimes too. That don't consider me to be inferior based on your weakness. Because your weakness might be my strength. But don't class me based on you and your past experiences. Experience me and allow me to prove what my worth could be. And I want to tell you that every day when you look at yourself in the mirror, tell yourself, I am worth existence. Tell yourself, I'm going to be the best version of myself. While you're putting on your lipstick, tell yourself, lip, I really don't need this lipstick, you know. But you're lucky I'm using you today. Tell yourself, when you're putting the powder, I'm pretty on my own, you know. But where do I give them a sale? Tell yourself, when you're polishing the shoe, say I'm shining you, you know. Because you know why? You know why? You have to carry me where I need to go. But I could still go without you. Remember that. Tell your shoe that. And sometimes you don't only have to tell your shoe that. You have to tell the shoes around you that. That your existence doesn't depend on them. Because everybody's destination is not the. Everybody's goal is not the. Everybody's aim is not the. And you sit down and cry, cry, cry. And God say you like cry? Take cry. But you try to lift yourself. And you know what God says? I will send angels. Because your wing will not carry you where you want to go. I'll send wings to carry you. On my strength, you will go. Tonight, this has brought us to the end of our katha. Umapati Mahadeva ki jai.